because it's very anime and very like upbeat, and they're like, oh no, I lost to blah blah blah, and then like 1,000 guys got killed in that battle.
The Humidus Podcast.
Welcome, beautiful people, to the Humidus Podcast with Hammer, Stef, and Dank N.
Hello there.
Hi.
And this is a special E3 edition of the Humidus Podcast, isn't it? We're going to do some discussions about our top picks. Yeah, top lists.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the E3 as a whole, guys?
It's what you'd expect, I guess, from the situation we're in.
Yeah, I think that they kind of took that into. I mean, development's been a little bit hampered by the situation, of course.
Yeah.
I think overall impressions is that they brought some heavy hitters, but not much else. The other things that were announced was, I don't know, kind of underwhelming, so to speak, or, well, I guess tempered to the expectation. But E3 still has a couple steps left until it reaches the heights it used to be.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we did get some really good tidbits here and there, so why don't we just kick it off with our lists? 5 top picks. You want to kick it off, Steph, with your number 5 pick?
All right. Well, I've actually talked about this one briefly before. So my number 5 is Evil Dead the game. And I'm a pretty big fan of the Evil Dead series. It had a huge impact on me growing up, especially like during middle school and stuff like that. Bruce Campbell doing the voiceover for the trailer already sold me 100%, you know.
Yeah.
And Bruce Campbell is one of my favorite actors. So anything he is in, I mean, he made even Spider-Man 3, the game, memorable. Because like he's the narrator in the tutorial, and he's just like, so what's Spider-Man without his spider powers? I'll tell you, he's man. What are you here to play? Man 3? Already there, you know, like, oh, okay. I mean, the rest of the game can be shit. I'm fine with it. But yeah, this game looks to be kind of like Left 4 Dead kind of game, a cooperative, you know, survival, fight hordes together, that type of gameplay, playing as famous characters from the franchise, even from Ash vs. the Evil Dead the series. And if you're a dick, you can play as the Kandarian demon himself. And you can possess the Deadites, like the demons, and take control over them directly, as well as you can play as Evil Ash, as the Overlord from the Army of Darkness movie, and there's a lot of things. It looks fun, and and it looks a lot less janky and a lot more polished than I expected. So I'm happy to see that. I hope they're gonna deliver like a good product.
It sounds like a fun experience. All right, so what about your number 5, Anne?
It's a game called Replaced, which we didn't really get to see any of, I think, except from a sort of CGI cutscene thing, or sort of a mix and mash of small cutscenes. But it is a beautiful, beautiful pixelated game, which I've been really into lately. So it hit me in a good place. So not really much else to say about it because I haven't seen anything yet. But I'm really hopeful it's gonna be good.
Yeah, you're sold on the problem. I mean, there are a lot of things like that we don't know really 100%, but you know, we kind of go with the feeling of the games. For me, it's like my number 5 is the multiplayer for Halo Infinite, because when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this just reminds me of the good old days when I used to play Combat Evolved.
Yeah.
With my boys, you know, on the good old original Xbox. I mean, I'm going to be a dad soon, so I'm going to need some kind of pick up and play, fast action, easy to enjoy gameplay. So I actually got a little hype for that.
It looked good.
And it's, cross from Xbox and PC, so we get some seasonal updates and stuff. So I don't know. I just liked the way it played. It looked a little bit modern, but also retained a little bit of that good old chaosy, Halo multiplayer. So
Yeah.
Good thing is that it's unmistakably Halo still.
yeah, absolutely. And I think they kind of went for that. They said that initially that they were gonna look at the formula and kind of do what works. Which I can appreciate. Absolutely. And moving on to number 4. What about you? What do you got on number 4, Steph?
I chose a game that is actually pretty dear to me, but I had completely forgotten about for the longest time until I saw the trailer. I was looking down, or looking away from the screen for a bit, and I just heard that music, and I'm like, hey, I know that music. And I looked to the screen, and it was freaking Advance Wars being remastered, and they put Advance Wars 1 and 2 in the same package.
Oh yeah.
And I played mostly Advance Wars 2. That was my jumping on point for the series, and I absolutely adored that game. Bringing out the Neo tanks, the medium tanks, and the artillery, and just blasting those cute little pixelated infantry soldiers to smithereens.
Oh yeah.
Excellent strategy game.
It is so good, and funny enough, I have Advance Wars on my list as well as number 2.
Yeah.
Because I love that game so much, so I can totally vibe with your feeling on that one. Just so many good memories from playing, the original Game Boy Advance, and I remember that I actually got mine from seeing it in a magazine. Yeah. Magazines. They were a thing back in the day, and I couldn't find it in Norway, so I asked my older sister's boyfriend, and he was an American, so he actually bought it for me in America.
Oh, that's nice.
So I got it a little bit early. I mean, it released here as well, but I got it early, and it was, it was so much gameplay. It was so many hours in that game that you could unlock special characters and through the campaign. It was just a magical ride.
And just playing all the different factions and all the different commanders had different specialties. They managed to cram a lot into a Game Boy Advance strategy game.
Yeah, and it's it seems very simple at first, but minute changes, like you said, to the different commanders and their special powers, of course.
Yeah.
Just made it so, the strategy was really deep, even though it's like you said, it's a cartoony, pixelated, cutesy war game.
Yeah.
But I actually played it not too long ago, and it struck me a little bit how cutesy they made war, which is a little bit special, soldiers fucking blasting each other from miles and miles away with artillery and
yeah,
and they're just
and the bomber
got
planes.
him. Yeah, the bomber planes. Yeah.
And can we also talk about how one of the protagonist commanders, Andy, is that his name? He's probably 15 years old or something.
He's 15. Yeah. Yeah.
It's typical anime fashion.
It is. It's very anime and very upbeat, and they're oh no, I lost to blah blah blah, and then 1,000 guys got killed in that battle.
and he incurred billions of dollars worth of hit to the economy because fucking warships and destroyers got annihilated.
Yeah, and it's Andy's sulking because he couldn't win. But yeah, but I mean it's got such a charm, that game, and the strategy, you can really sink hours and hours into it, and it's actually quite difficult, even the campaign towards the end, especially to unlock some of the characters. I can't really remember how you did it, but I think that it was quite hard to do it. You had to get S rank on certain missions, and you got some secret missions here and there and stuff like that. It was, just cram-packed.
I still have slight trauma from the mission where you play as as the artillery specialist guy, and you're up against
Yeah.
this fog of war specialist.
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
And your map, you're like within this like mountain range, and you just have to like sneak like inch by inch, and just like hope that you can catch the one of the enemy units like slightly just outside the fog of war, so you can target them with artillery until they sneak off again. It's just that mission.
Yeah, there were some frustrating moments for sure in that game.
Good times.
Just, yeah, it was really good. And just hours and hours and hours. And I remember actually, when I had played it for, I can't remember how many hours, but a long time, that I actually traded it for, I think it was like some Minish Cap or something. I can't remember what game it was, but I traded it, with a buddy of mine. And I regretted that trade for so long because I loved Advanced. Even though I think it was the Minish Cap was a really good game, but yeah. So moving on to Dank N, your number 4 pick.
It is Metroid Dread. Finally, we're getting another 2D Metroid. I think they said it's been like 18 or 19 years.
It's been a long
Which
time.
is about fucking time. And, well, it's like Metroid is undeniably one of the best 2D platformers out there.
Yeah.
Given its like name to half the name of the genre, so
Yeah.
I'm just almost like positively expecting it to be really solid and good. And the kind of survival element added, I guess from the trailer, looks really promising.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be like it's called Metroid Dread, and it's supposed to be like kind of a bit of a panicky survival element to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What do you think about that?
I think it's gonna be cool. Obviously, you're gonna be stressed the fuck out. But I betcha, like the final hours of the game, you're gonna get some upgrade where you can just blast those fuckers to pieces, and it's gonna be so fucking satisfying.
Yeah, right. You've been like running away the entire game, and then finally you get your fucking revenge.
Mm-hmm.
What are they called? I think they mentioned the name of those droids or whatever that are gonna kind of.
I
Was it, like,
don't
Emmy
remember.
or something?
Yeah, it was Emmy.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean,
Such a cute name for something so horrible.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I mean, they were really creepy. Oh, that's being just followed by a machine that's like unrelenting in all of its movements, like perfect movements.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something eerie about that.
Yeah, and the little whistling kind of tunes they make just adds to the paranoia.
Yeah, and I think Metroid games were always like about the atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
with the enunciation on the fear.
Metroid is kind of like, it's just an age rating away from being similar to Dead Space. So
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, good picks, guys. Okay, so for my number 4, it's gonna be a kind of a boring one, or it's Diablo 2 Resurrected.
not that boring in my opinion.
No, it's a great it's a great promise of a fantastic game, but yeah, we know what we're gonna get here, which is a touch up on a very, very highly rated game.
Good old
Like
classic.
a good old classic that I think we all had experience with in the past. And my experience came actually from the time when I was in the military, and we had like some spare time. We all had some laptops, and I remember just playing this game to death, the original.
In between the porn.
Yeah, in between the porn, and violently jacking off. I mean, that was a thing in the military. You couldn't really jack off. That's forbidden. So, and you're always like with 6-7 other guys, so it's not really accepted to whip it out, and just start having fun. So yeah, let's just keep it at that and not divulge any further. But yeah, Diablo 2 Resurrected. What do you guys think about this game?
Well, I played the original classic Diablo 2. I did a playthrough with a friend not too long ago. I think like late last year or something. And I mean, it's one of those games. It's just so good that you can easily just return to it once every couple of years and just like play to death again and still have a really good time. So they're touching up the graphics, which I mean, all right, time for another playthrough for my case. I think it's coming to console as well. So
yeah.
And Diablo 3 was surprisingly, the control scheme was very, very nice on PS4.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I mean, I was really surprised. So I hope if they bring that kind of like the same control scheme to this one, then I'm really happy to play it again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm like kind of like that. I didn't actually play Diablo since the first time in the military, so I really look forward to this. If I have the spare time, that is, of course. But yeah, and maybe I'll even have to play it on Xbox because Halo Infinite. Yeah.
Yeah, but why not? And I promise you, man, like as soon as that town music hits, the Rogue Encampment tune, like your goosebumps and other things are gonna be standing straight up.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so let's move on to number 3. What do you got here, Stef?
Battlefield 2042.
Yeah.
I do love my multiplayer FPSs, and Warzone has been keeping me satiated for a while. Battlefield 5 was good. It had its problems for sure, but considering
Did you play that a lot?
Yeah, I did, because I got it for half off. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but they really botched the launch.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so like within 1 week or 2 or something like that, after it released, it was down to half price as an apology. So me and a friend, we got it, and that's why like I kept playing it up until like on and off until the last update, pretty much, because I mean for $30 worth, yeah, I mean I got my money's worth for sure.
Yeah.
I just want to say, if you botch a launch, so it's fucking horrible, and your apology is to give the people who didn't buy the game and suffer through the horrible launch a cheaper way to get it, isn't that kind of bad?
No, because
but did they? Yeah,
I think they reimbursed the people that bought it at
full
price.
Okay, then it's fine.
Because the very same point became a controversy as well. But I seem to remember, if I'm not mistaken, I think they did reimburse the people that bought it at full price.
Yeah, I mean that seems appropriate.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't work at DICE. Keep doing the good work.
Just imagine that fucking shitstorm. And gamers are they are angry, if they feel that they've been slighted.
I mean, I feel that gaming industry in general needs a better internal control organ. I think, like when it comes like an ethics committee or something for healthy business practices, because there's so much bullshit there. Like the past 10 years at this point, where controversy after controversy after bullshit. Like it's an industry that's it's been lagging behind.
It has, and I think that it's weird that they didn't learn from all the countless botched launches and microtransaction scandals. I mean, it's got to be better to just have success.
Yeah.
Than to money grab.
The developers probably learn, but the heads of the studios and stuff probably won't.
Yeah, but I mean, the bean counters, can't they see that if it's like a universally accepted good game, it sells more games? Or maybe that just isn't true.
I think it did in the case of Battlefield and in the case of Battlefront 2 most of all, I guess. Because Battlefront 2 as well was just... I mean, that's a great game now, by the way. Super good. But at launch, that was a disaster. And that was the one time that EA pushed it so far that, it really hurt the sales. Because, like, they can still keep pushing the boundary of the fucking copy and paste sports titles.
Oh, right.
And only now are they claiming that they've learned and tried to change up the next game significantly. But then you look at the list and it's just like, well, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I know. I got the impression that like it's like you said, that sometimes it's actually okay, because they save a lot on like a crunchy, stunted development cycle, and they just sell enough games as it is, so it's still beneficial for them. But then sometimes it's just taking it too far. It's got to be like that because they do it over and over again. I mean, profit is everything, so...
Yeah, and they get away with it because of predatory microtransactions and gambling addictions, and, that's why. Like, they keep earning money from exploiting people.
Yeah, I know. But 2042, Steph, what do you think about the trailer we got? And
it looks nuts. It looks like pure chaos. Like they hired somebody from the development team of Just Cause and was like, hey, we want you to take those tornadoes and natural disasters and shit and just like jam it in here and make it appropriate for this engine. And like, I think it supports up to 128 players, so the war scale is going to be massive. And it already was as one of the strengths of Battlefield, right? Because the sound design and the scale and the player count and everything really contributed to that war feeling. And I think upping it to 128 players, it's gonna be insane. And graphics are super good. They're really putting their engines to work. So I'm really excited. I just wish maybe they showed a little bit more gunplay specifically. Yeah. Because that can also be a kind of make or break for me. So
yeah, there's a lot of vehicles and like spectacular, but I guess that sells. What do you think about like the technology or level of technology they've chosen here in like weapon systems?
I think it's nice because I think some other people, I think on GameSpot in a video they made, they also mentioned that Battlefield is as in their modern titles have had a penchant for trying to predict the immediate future.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they are wrong, but then it always turns into an interesting kind of like what if scenario. Yeah. And I think that's the case here, and I'm excited for that. I love my guns, so I don't really fancy lasers and stuff too much. I mean, I prefer my bolters to my las guns. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, you like it a little bit more grimdark. But yeah, that's my point, because I think that they went with. I mean, they didn't take it too far. Yeah. In terms of the technology, and I think that's a lot more realistic. Like military inventory is, it's hard to really innovate. Yeah. And like you mentioned, lasers and stuff is just not. It's just really not that feasible in like the near future. So
It's just if it's like a weapon or two maybe out of the entire armory that is some kind of laser based, I'm fine with that. Or if it's Star Wars, obviously. But
yeah, of course.
But in Battlefield, I'm just glad they stuck to the kinetic, the good old guns that shoots.
Good old projectiles.
Good old projectiles.
Yeah. Okay. So what about your number 3 pick? And
it is Starfield. Which I know nothing about, but it's fine. I might. Yeah. I'm just I'm going off the presumption that it's Elder Scrolls and Fallout in space.
That's what he said.
Like at its core, and that's what I want. And that's like
a pretty good sell.
The Outer Worlds didn't quite deliver that for me. I think this is gonna be good. I hope.
Yeah, that's my number 3 pick as well. Mm-hmm. We sadly don't know a lot about this game other than like what kind of direction they're going. But yeah, I mean, it just promises a lot. So we'll just have to bank on it being good. Please be good. Please be good. Please be good.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get the traveling and kind of the exploration from No Man's Sky and then
Yeah.
implement the gameplay of their normal games, it would be pretty good.
Yeah, because I saw some tweet about the traveling being, a little bit. They're gonna do kind of a mixture of realistic and gaming. It's gonna be dangerous to travel.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, which I like a lot. But they're not gonna make it like a fucking a space sim where you have to like construct a fucking physically correct rocket system to get off planet. But
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm
Exploration
fine
is-
as well.
And I just had a thought that struck me.
Mm.
You know how all Bethesda titles, at least the modern ones, have had Lovecraft references?
Yes.
You know how most of the Lovecraftian pantheon of horrors come from space?
Yep.
And I hope they exploit that here as well.
I was just about to say, I might be wrong, but did they say something about the edge of explored space, or was that some other title? Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, if it is, then that's kind of usually the setting for something crazy, cosmic, scary, dark stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then we jump on, because that was my number 3 as well, to number 2, I guess, Steph.
Yeah, all right. Well, speaking of insanity, very nice segue. My next pick is Stalker 2, set in the heart of Chernobyl. And this game, this game really makes me happy. It reminds me of like some of my peak memories of gaming. Back in fucking summer vacation of 2007, when I got Stalker 1, I'd just gotten like an at the time upgraded rig. Had 8 weeks of sitting in the second floor of my dad's place with my new computer. And I remember buying Stalker while on vacation in Greece. And usually my mom would be like, she would give me a small allowance to spend on that vacation. I was like, well, souvenirs, fuck that, I'm gonna get Stalker. And I bought Stalker. Just hoped it wasn't dubbed in Greek and hard-coded to Greek, because that's happened before. And I was like, well, Greece is nice, but can we go home early? I want to play Stalker.
Spoken like a true gamer.
Yeah, the funny thing was that some downtime on the last day, we had like 12 hours almost between checkout and departure, like hotel checkout and departure, and we spent a lot of the downtime at an internet cafe, or they parked me and a friend who was also on the trip in that internet cafe that had gaming PCs, and then they left and did whatever. And they had Stalker. So I got to play it for like 8 or 9 hours just before departure, and I was like, my hype couldn't have been more critical mass than that. And, it turned out to be a janky but wonderful mess of a game. It's very unique. Its vibe is great. It's very bleak, but it also has just the right amount of like survival elements versus exploration and gunplay, some RPG elements. And if you modded it, it got even better. I'd say now it's arguably mandatory to mod it to get it to work proper. Yeah. But if you do, it's a very great experience in the first one. So the second one had amazing graphics. I loved how the entire trailer was in Russian. It was yeah, that was so nice. And you got to see some famous monsters like the Bloodsuckers, and you got to see some of the gunplay in there, and the graphics was just, I don't know. I was really happy. I couldn't have asked for more. It gave me exactly what I wanted. And it's on Game Pass too. Like, because why not, right? Why not just stroke me a little bit more?
Just perfect. Silver platter.
Exactly. This is like they might as well have written "Coming to Stef" on Game Pass.
Like wink, wink, Stef.
Yeah, exactly.
Game Pass also.
Yeah.
Haha, Stef sincerely K.
Yeah. That's basically it.
The Almighty has promised.
All right. So, what about your number 2 pick,
Well, it's the Breath of the Wild,
Mm.
for lack of a better name. It just blows me away, just as it did the first time. And if I can get just a little tad of the excitement and wonder I felt playing the first game for the first time, I'm just happy. I'm at my happy place.
Where do you think like they're going? I mean, there's so much speculation around the game, and there's going to be more verticality and stuff like that. But what do you think?
Well, the castle is lifted up from the ground, and the 3 first notes of Zelda's Lullaby is played at the end. But I'm not one to theorize, so.
No.
I don't know. We did defeat some kind of Ganon in the first game, but he always comes back, right? But this time as a zombie, I don't know.
He got killed by Kazuya in Smash, so.
Yeah, he did. No, but more Breath of the Wild is always good. It is just an amazing experience, and it seems to be like straight off the bat the same thing. So,
what do you think about? And they mentioned that the undertitle, they can't reveal it, and there's a reason for it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's good. Save it for more hype refill later.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you think that means?
I don't know.
It's gonna be like...
just the name is probably gonna be pretty revealing of what the story is gonna be. So they can't say shit. It's not like
Majora's
Skyward
Breath.
Sword.
Yeah, I was gonna say
if
that.
that name pops out, I'm done.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Termina, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, or like Majora's Breath.
Imagine just like Termina popping up upside down in the skies. With the clock tower like opposite of Hyrule Castle. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. That would be insane. Because there is some... I mean, Zelda falls into like a pit, right? Like a bottomless pit of sorts in the trailer.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe she
like
turns
the-
into a Deku.
But right after you see that Link is basically falling from the sky. Yeah, I saw some theories. Sorry.
But we all know that hole is actually the toilet with the zombie hand in Majora's Mask.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
that's
that's the antagonist. Like the rest
Right.
of that hand.
Jesus, the game is about hands, right? And Link's hand is like, we're onto something here. It is the toilet. He basically stumbles into the toilet, and there's another dimension down there.
And he didn't give the hand the toilet paper, so he's
Yeah.
really mad, and he just like threw the entire Hyrule Castle into the sky.
This is his realm, you know.
Yeah.
You're playing by his rules now.
And he
you didn't give him the fucking paper.
And he threatens to like wipe his ass with Zelda.
Yeah. Oh. Good. I think that we're onto something here. That's probably 99% correct, at least.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, just like seeing, when it transitions to Link falling out of the sky, brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah, that's a beautiful scene. That is. Oh, yeah. So that's going to be a fucking banger. I mean, nobody expects it to be any less, but what was it released 2021? January? Was that confirmed or... No, 2022, sorry.
Yeah, 2022.
It's been released already.
2022 January is the next game we're gonna talk about. So it just said 2022.
Right. That's right. I mixed them up. Okay, so moving on. I had Advance Wars Remaster on number 2, so we're just gonna jump on to number 1, which I guess is the same for all of us.
Yeah, and probably the 7 listeners have already figured out which one that is too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone want to announce it?
I guess Dank N should be the one because he's like the OG of.
Yeah. Well, it is the Elden Ring, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Elden Ring is what should be the title of the next Zelda game, because that's where the hand comes from,
Yeah.
Now, But fuck me, that game.
Oh yeah.
I was speechless. I kind of still am.
I mean, we sat on Discord and reacted to the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And when you teased that you'd already seen by accident the title,
Yeah.
or like, you know, and I was like, I didn't even think that it would be Elden Ring because I thought it was such a, I don't know, it just didn't feel like that was gonna ever happen, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, is it something I'm interested in and stuff like that? You know, ask some prodding questions, and then Elden Ring. And when Jeff, the announcer, when he was about to announce it, he could barely contain his happiness.
Yeah. It made me so happy to see it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then when Elden Ring popped out, it's like, holy shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I just won the night 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. I mean, what can we say about this, guys? I think it's safe to say that it's the most hyped game in modern history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least for me.
It
Very
is.
close to. Yeah. It's up there.
It was the most anticipated game for at least Summer Games Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like from polls. So I think
So
gamers are
what-
maturing, maybe.
Could be. But they were saying that this game is gonna
Yeah.
be easier though. So maybe not.
Yeah, it's like compared to Sekiro, but it's like a good mix of like the Soulsborne series and a little bit of Sekiro elements in there,
Mm.
and like expansive world, dynamic. There's gonna be night and day cycles,
Mm.
and like the scenes we get to see, like artworks upon artworks upon artworks.
Yeah.
Can I just say that, you know, we've talked quite a few times on this podcast about whenever we did like trailer reactions and whatnot. There's always that level of like, hey, I've seen parts of that before. Or, like that's like a mix between that game and that game, and like the amount of derivatives that we're seeing. For Elden Ring, I was sitting there the whole time. I was thinking like, all right, everything I've been shown right now is unique enough, and everything I've seen looks interesting.
Mm.
Yeah.
All of it was like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, wow, what's that character do? Oh, wow, that thing looks interesting. Well, I wonder how that's going to come into play. Like, everything, I was just, like, asking 1,000 questions, it really piqued my curiosity. And that was so refreshing because I don't think I've had that kind of level of curiosity sparked from a trailer in a long time.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the art design is just so, like you said, everything is so unique and interesting to look at. So there's no like samey, not even like backgrounds, you know.
Yeah.
Everything is different. So it just looks so interesting all the way. But like, and what do you think about like what we see combat wise here?
Looks mostly like Dark Souls, I think. Like the bread and butter of the fighting mechanics. But with some added like horseback fighting, right? And jumping.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I didn't get to see too much. Like, it seems like we're having weapon arts from Dark Souls 3. Some of the spinny moves and whatnot.
Yeah. And I also learned that they're gonna do like an additional layer of customization on like the weapon arts part. There's gonna be like a skill type of system where you can use like, so if you like special weapon art, you can use that with any weapon you want to, basically. Yeah.
Oh,
that's nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like, and especially for like PvP. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever PvP'd in these games, but
Not voluntarily.
no, not voluntarily.
No, right. Yeah, but like it's gonna be very difficult now to predict what kind of build your opponent has. I mean, and that's like a big thing, you know, in PvP.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's very interesting, I think, and it also brings a little bit more depth to like the character that you're building.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing that I've actually missed a little bit. And with I think I got the most out of that in Dark Souls 1, but that total freedom of playstyle and customization, and because like that was the reason I was turned off by Sekiro, because it was very focused on one playstyle, which is fine. You're playing as that specific character, but in Dark Souls you get that. Like in Dark Souls 1, if I wanted to be a super bulky thing that could tank like a fucking equivalent of a 600-ton stomp from a giant and just stand there with my shield, then I could.
Yeah. We all know that you only build the guts type character stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the
maxed out
shield.
strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, with a small shield.
Yeah.
And like two-hander in one hand, basically.
Yeah, and just, just blocking everything with my sheer willpower.
Yeah, but I think that's really kind of good for such a huge and expansive game that's more RPG focused, maybe one can say. Even though like that's because it's more freedom. What do you think about like stealth and stuff like that being implemented?
And I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Enjoyed it a lot in Sekiro.
I mean, I love to mention that the stealth is going to be more powerful at night. But also that the kind of monsters and demons that you're going to face are going to be more horrific.
Yes.
I mean,
That horror.
you're probably not gonna one-shot them out of stealth, right?
No.
So it's
probably
not
No.
gonna be really powerful.
But they also said that they actually are providing more freedom of build customization. One thing you mentioned, but just like overall, they're going heavy on the freedom of builds, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, they're gonna like do good magic stuff with the builds. I think so. It's gonna be good. Oh my god. Spectacles.
I'm really interested in how the start is gonna be. Like after you get out of the normal starting area, are you like instantly introduced with total freedom, or like I'm really curious.
Yeah, me too. And I got the vibe that they were going for like they were saying something about being able to kind of choose what area you're gonna tackle. And maybe, and I hope that it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be very little hand holding and very exploration focused.
Yeah.
Which just imagine like trotting along and discovering like some kind of secret area or huge expansive dungeon or something that with a lot of culture, ancient culture, just lying about. And I can just, my imagination is just
You can just smell Blighttown.
And like just look at the art style here. It's just rife with all that. The lighting is just fantastical in every shot here.
Yeah, just incredible, really.
And I wonder to what extent George R.R. Martin's writing is gonna impact the game.
Yeah, I must say, like some of the lines you heard in the trailer, they sound kind of more like powerful and like I don't know, but better than what we usually get.
Yeah.
You can feel that there is substance here in this this universe, and I just hope that that's the case. That I think that they had it so that George R.R. just made like the lore first, and then they built the game around.
Yeah.
And they just based the game around the lore basically. So it would fit perfectly to the lore, and that just seems so good.
And just the fact that the place the location that the game takes place is also called the Lands Between. That already, and the Lands Between are blessed by the presence of the Elden Ring and by the Erd Tree, which symbolizes its presence. It's like already there is like, well, that doesn't sound like your typical game story writer kind of thing.
No.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, having a kid and having limited time is not going to be pretty.
Well, I mean, you can easily incorporate this into proper raising of a child.
Yeah, he's gonna have to like be sitting on my lap or something like that. I'm gonna have to rock him besides the computer.
I mean, he's. I just imagine him being
Quiet
like
now.
a full-fledged Sith Lord at age 7.
Yeah, he's gonna be like the one that kills Anakin instead of being slaughtered with the other Padawans. Oh yeah, but this game, man. Yeah, it's gonna be played one way or the other. And that concludes the top picks for E3 2021. Do you guys have anything other like special? Do you want special mentions?
No, not really. I think we covered, at least for my case, we covered most of this of the meat and the juice of the proboscis here.
Yeah, the fucking huge pulsating proboscis was covered by licks.
I actually forgot one game which should have been on my list, and it should have been pretty high, and that's Atomic Heart.
Oh yeah, how could you forget?
Atomic Heart.
Fuck, yes.
I completely forgot it.
Same.
It's the FPS kind of shooter, probably set in Russia, Eastern Europe, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just super wacky, spaced out, crazy, and I'm so intrigued by it.
It's Soviet shock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
It's Soviet shock, basically. Didn't we see like a trailer for this for
for ages ago.
Yeah.
And then the funny thing is, when me and Steph was watching the Summer Game Fest, I told Steph like I miss like the old BioShock game, right? Like experiencing those for the first time and getting a new kind of experience like that, and then like I see this shit, and I'm sold. I'm so sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks crazy. It looks good. That's, and even though it's BioShock-like, it looks very unique and crazy, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, yeah. Yeah, a lot of things to be excited. Yeah, it's a good honorable mention.
And also we got a Tekken rip in Smash, which is cool.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
It's cool. It's about time. I think Koei Tecmo or whoever is also like in part of the development team, so it was just a matter of time.
Kazuya, baby.
Yeah.
But much rather Kazuya than Jin.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kazuya is such a badass.
Oh, yeah, he's such a cool character. Oh, yeah, I remember Tekken, guys. PlayStation 1. Jesus, that was the good old days.
He's also 100% full natural, no roids.
Yeah. That upper body build, that's full natty.
I mean, demon power, isn't that kind of roids?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, true. Fair enough.
think,
All right, he's not a natty.
That is juice equivalent. All right, boys. So I think that's a good wrap up of E3 2021. So remember to stay dank and stay human. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.